Good morning students. So today is 20 April. So now we are going to explain this year syllabus of science term second, because due to the pandemic the paper is divided in two terms, term first and term second. Terms first is already happened and result comes out, and now we discuss term second for the students who is going to appear in the exam. So let's discuss the science syllabus, and also we are going to explain some concepts of the chapter in the further video here. So in chemistry there is a carbon and its compound, another periodic classification of elements. So these chapters are coming in the section of chemistry, so in which we study and what parts is reducible, what part you will be prepared to get better marks in your exam. That is carbon and its compounds. Here you discuss about what is carbon, what is the unique nature of the carbon, its forms chain form to others, and some compounds of the carbon like allotropes of the carbons. Carbon forms so many allotropes like a graphite, diamonds, Buckman fullerenes. So this you have to read in this study in these chapters. Second things which is come in the exam is the valency and structure, carbon chain structure formula, which is come by which you explain by the you can say that through the valency of different elements. So like see, if the CH4 is coming, so draw its structural formula and valence formula. So how can you draw? If you know the valency of carbon, you know this is the structural formula H. And you know the valency of carbon is 4 because total is 6, so 2 4. So when you draw it, one here, one electron is here, one is here. When hydrogen share its bond with the carbon, so it's from CH4 like this. So this kind of structure formula is also come in your exam. So there is different compound like NH3, S2SO4, explain their structure formula and electron dot structure. Electron dot structures types of questions must come in your exam. And second things which is very important, homologous series, isomerism. What is homologous series? Homologous series, if elements is divided or separated by CH2. Let's take an example of alkane. So how it's formed, like a methane is the first element, methane ethane. So for that you have to read what is the name of C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. Okay, C1 we called, you know that basic things, meth, eth, prop, bute, pent. Okay, so that's why it's create methane. And methane second is eth, prop, bute, pent. So the series of alkane gives the name as suffix "ane". So methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane. So what is homologous series? If there is a difference between two compounds is CH2, so that series is called homologous series. You can also take an example of alcohol. So like CH3OH, C2H5OH, C3H7OH, like this. So what we say this series, methanol, ethanol, propanol, similarly other butanol, pentanol. Okay, so this homologous series is also come in your exams, or the question related to its come. Next chapter is periodic classifications of elements. So periodic classification of elements, in which the chapter is divided in two sections, and the question, one is the theoretical, another is trends in the periodic classification, modern periodic table. So first is how the elements are classified, and previously scientists how arrange it. Like first is Daubeney triad. Daubeney triad is like lithium, sodium, potassium. These are the triad, and calcium, strontium, barium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So they Daubeney divided in triads, and these triads is also found in next series also, or next classification also. So this is popular, but how it's failed, why it's not, what is the limitation of that? Because Daubeney not classified all elements in these triads. Okay. Next scientist who explain the classification is Newland law of octave. So they arrange elements like musical notes, and what he said that after eighth elements, all the elements repeated their properties, like music, like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. So sa is repeated, re, ga, ga. So similarly they told this element is also repeated their property after eighth elements. And why this is not so popular or not going further? Because he only discovered 56 elements, and he told that there is no new element will be formed or discovered in the future. That's why its classification is also fails, and there is so many other limitations. Next very popular discovery of Mendeleev arranged, or you can say that the old form of the periodic table, which is discovered by the Mendeleev. Mendeleev is said that if we arrange all the elements according to their atomic mass. So first of all, understand what is atomic mass. Let's understand case of carbon 6C12. Okay, like oxygen 8O16. In some books its 16 is written same side, like 1H1. Okay, so the number which is written at the bottom is the atomic number, and the number which is represented on the left or right up of the symbol, that is atomic mass. So according to Mendeleev, he arranged all the elements according to their atomic mass, and said that if we arrange their atomic mass, their oxides or their nature is matching. So it is successful for a long time, and also they discover told that there is so many other elements which will be discovered in the future. That's why they give a space after discovery, after classify the elements, they put some space and name it, like in below to the aluminum, Eka aluminum, which is further discovered, gallium and any others. So that is very popular. But why it is failed? Because after some times it is found that they put two elements in the same group, so which is not familiar, or their property is not matched. And second is a second thing, that is which is anomalous for Mendeleev. They told us we arrange these elements according to atomic masses, but in some elements like nickel and chromium, cobalt, they put in the same group, but also they put larger atomic mass previously put first and the smaller atomic mass is put after that. So which is a contradiction and failure of this Mendeleev long form of old form. So in 1913 Henry Moseley just modified that long Mendeleev period, which is also called modern periodic table, which is popular and nowadays it's running. So what is modern periodic table and how it's classified? Modern periodic table. In the modern periodic table, all the elements are classified according their atomic number. So if we arrange all the element according to their atomic number, so there's somewhere it is very popular and all characteristics are matches, and we can easily learn this table by their property. So by this they classified into the elements in 7 periods. Horizontal lines are periods, and vertical line is called column. So they divided 7 periods, okay, and 18 columns, which is called groups. Okay, so they found it. So most of the property is matches. By this table they classified the elements in first extreme right alkali metals and alkali earth metals, and second heavy metals, and at last non-metals, and at the last of the extreme left, you can say that from my side or from your side extreme right, is noble gases. Okay. So there is a lots of properties matched with their element, but the place of hydrogen is now suspicious. So because hydrogen shows the abnormal activity, sometimes it's behave like a metal, sometimes it's behave like a non-metal. So they put hydrogen in a different places. So also it sort out the previous problems. The most of the problem is sort out. Now the second part of this chapter is how the trends going on. So which you have to prepare, like some property like atomic radius, what will be happen, atomic radius, electron negativity, electron affinity, metal character, non-metal character. So most of things which is discovered is trends of these character in the long modern periodic table. So what will be happen in atomic radius when it goes up to down in a group, and what will happen when it goes left to right in a period. So you have to remember this. I'm not going to explain all things, but little bit atomic radius. When atomic radius goes left to right in the periods, the size of atomic radius is decreases because electron negativity is increases. So the number of proton is increases, but the number of electron due to the valency is decreases. That's why in the periods atomic radius is decreases. But obviously in the groups, because in the top there are very smaller element are putting, and in the bottom there is a heavy or complex elements are putting, which is discovered further. So in the groups, obviously atomic radius are increasing. So electronegativity increases, decreases. Metal character, where in this sides of the table all metals are put, so obviously there is a non-metal are putting. So metal character, when it's go left to right, so metal character decreases, non-metal character increases. And let's talk about up to down. So there is a diagonal behavior from here to here. Okay, so metal character in the group is increases. In the non-metal character, when it goes up to down, it decreases. You saw also the diagonal in the last. So diagonal, you know that there is also other element other than metal and non-metal, that is meteoroids, which have both property of metal and non-metal, which is placed as a perpendicular, like a silicon, gallium, germanium, which is used for the solar light or solar system, semiconductors. Okay, so this is the second periodic classification of elements. Third chapter, how do organism reproduce. So in this chapter we have to revise some topics like asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, there is so many property which is very types which is very important, like vegetative reproductions, hydra, budding, spore formations. So you have to revise this and also keep practicing on the example also. Next, discuss sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in which both parents is important. Usme, that is in sexual reproduction you have to sexual reproductions result we discuss in the heredity, but you just simply understand or what happen in the sexual reproductions, what is their impact, how the fetus is formed, how the fertilization is happen, these things, how the zygotes form, how the ovule is formed. You understand everything, you learn this theory, that is very important. Second things in reproduction is sex, unhealthy sex. So this section is also come very important. Unhealthy sex means what kind of diseases happen due to this unhealthy sex, like STD, gonorrhea, syphilis, and how we preserve that. So this is very important. And what is the method which is avoid the unhealthy sex, like contraceptive pills and condom, and what is the permanent solution, like a copper tea. So these things which will come in your exams as a theoretical purpose. So you have to revise this. This is very important. Next is heredity and evolution. Evolution portion is not coming this year, but heredity is come. So in the heredity, the things which is very important, variation, like how the variation is happen and how the parents and progeny is different to each other, what is the cause of variation, these things. And second is types of this heredity evolutions, like what happened when first understand here. You understand that when we take T, tall plant, and a small plant, so what will be the result, what will be the condition of F1 progeny. So you understand in 3 cases, there are 4 cases are found when the TT breeding is happened, then tall plant is formed. When capital T and small T breeding is happened, then also tall plant is found. When again T and small t, then tall plants are found. And when small t and small t, then the short plant is found. So this kind of things is come in the heredity, what is happen natural conditions. So you have to revise it. Now one is come in the case of plants, another take example of flower, which is also come. Flower, there are two kinds of flower, that is red color, white color and violet color. So similarly, what condition is come in three cases, there is a white, one case is violet, is the same. Okay, so these kind of things you will prepare it. Second thing that is very important, second kind of progeny in which 9:3:3:1 ratio, 9:3:3:1 is coming. This is also very important. I am not going to explain there is because in the explanation video the video become long, very long. We understand in further video, but you have to revise it. The ratio in this monohybrid pollination and dihybrid pollination, also revise it. So the best example of pea, in which there is a wrinkle pea or round pea. What will be the condition is come in four cases, there is a wrinkle and recessive small pea, and most of the cases round and you can say that yellow or green pea. So this is also very important. Next thing in heredity, most of the question is come from this section. Okay, evolution part is called. Next is electricity. So in the electricity, this is a very important aspect for the numerical, also as well as concept wise. So electricity, what you have to prepare, what is electric current. So you make a formula chart of whole chapter, and then you will revise it, the numerical and the concept. So concept is very important. Like first is electricity, I, current. What is current? The rate of flow of charge. I is equal to Q pointing. In most of the books, this Q is also written in the capital. You can write according to your convenience. So what is current? The rate of flow of charge is called current, and the SI unit will be ampere, and you can also write this coulomb per second.